Welcome to Sleep Drift Tales. Tonight, a gentle ritual begins. Not wine, not coffee, something softer, something made for rest. The Sleepy Girl Mocktail, a drink of quiet magic. Cherries, crystals, herbs, each one a whisper, each one an invitation to let go. Stay with me, breathe slowly. Let the story hold you. Let the night carry you. If this calm feels right, you are welcome to subscribe. Tell me, from where in the world are you listening tonight? Now close your eyes and let the mocktail of sleep guide you home. Do sit in the quiet of evenings. The day has settled into shadows. Your mind holds the gentle weight of hours past. Work finished, conversations ended, the small tasks of living complete. Somewhere in the distance, you hear a whisper, not with your ears, but deeper. A soft knowing that calls from within. There is something waiting for you. Something that might bring peace to the restless corners of your thoughts. The whisper speaks of a drink, not wine or tea or the bitter comfort of coffee. Something else, something made from the earth's quiet gift. A mocktail that carries no spirits, yet holds a different kind of magic. You have heard the name before, the Sleepy Girl Mocktail. It drifts through conversations like a gentle rumor. Friends mention it in passing. You read about it in quiet moments. Always there, always waiting, like a door you have not yet opened. Tonight feels different. Tonight the whisper grows stronger. It wraps around your shoulders like a soft shawl. It tugs at your curiosity with gentle fingers. Come, it seems to say. Come and learn what rests behind the name. You rise from where you sit. Your feet find the floor with quiet purpose. The house around you breathes in its evening rhythm. Familiar walls, gentle creaking, the soft hum of life settling into night. But you are not meant to stay inside tonight. The whisper leads you forward, through the hallway, past the kitchen where ordinary drinks wait, in their ordinary places, beyond the living room where the day's small comforts rest in shadow. Your hand finds the door handle, cool metal against warm skin. You pause, listening to the night beyond. Wind moves through leaves. Somewhere water flows over stone. The darkness holds no fear, only invitation. You step outside. The air greets you with the scent of evening, dew beginning to form, earth cooling from the day's warmth. Above you, stars gather in their ancient patterns. They have watched over countless nights, countless seekers of rest. The whisper grows clearer now. It comes from ahead, down a path you have never noticed before. Stones worn smooth by other feet, moss growing in the spaces between. Each step forward feels like a small decision toward something new. You walk slowly. There is no hurry in this journey. Time moves differently. Peer between day and true night. Minutes stretch like honey. Your breath finds a steadier rhythm. In and out, in and out. The gentle meter of a body learning to slow. The path curves through trees you cannot quite name in the darkness. Their branches reach overhead like protective arms. Leaves rustle with secrets. The whisper mingles with their soft conversation, guiding you. deeper into the night. Your feet know this path somehow. Each stone feels familiar beneath your step. Each turn reveals itself just as you need it. This is not the hurried walking of daytime, sharp heels on concrete, rushing toward appointments. This is the walking of dreams, fluid, certain, unhurried. The air grows sweeter as you move forward. Something blooms here, even in the darkness. Night flowering, jasmine, perhaps, or honeysuckle opening its secrets to the moon. The fragrance mingles with the deeper sense of earth and growing things. You round a bend and pause. Ahead you see light, not the harsh brightness of street lamps or the blue glow of screens. This light is softer, warmer. It flickers like candles, but steadier. It draws you forward with gentle insistence. As you move closer, shapes emerge from the darkness. A wooden gate, weathered but sturdy. Stone walls covered in climbing vines. The soft glow comes from within, spilling over the walls like liquid starlight. This is where the whisper has led you. You can feel it in the settling of your breath, the quieting of your thoughts. Here waits the beginning of understanding. Here grows the answer to your curiosity about that gentle drink, that whisper of rest made manifest. Your hand finds the gate latch. It opens with a soft sigh, as if it has been waiting for you. The hinges do not creak. They sing, low and musical, welcoming you into whatever lies beyond. You step through the gateway. The space opens before you like a secret revealed. This is no ordinary garden. Paths wind between raised beds where unfamiliar plants grow in careful rows. Small lights, not electric, but something softer, nestle among the leaves. They pulse gently, like fireflies caught in glass globes. The air here tastes different, cleaner, touched with minerals and growing things. You breathe it in slowly, feeling it fill spaces in your lungs you had forgotten existed. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches. The weight of the day begins to settle into the earth beneath your feet. You walk deeper into the garden. Your footsteps make no sound on the soft earth path. Everything here grows in careful harmony. Not the wild tangle of nature, but not the rigid lines of formal gardens either. This place knows a different kind of order, one that follows rhythms older than human planning. To your left, herbs grow in neat spirals. You catch the scent of chamomile, sweet and apple-like. Lavender nods on tall stems. Lemon balm spreads its serrated leaves in gentle abundance. These are the familiar friends of rest and calm, but they are not why you have come. The whisper pulls you forward, past the herb spirals, beyond a small fountain where water trickles over smooth stones. The sound mingles with your footsteps, creating a rhythm that matches your heartbeat. Bottom, bottom, bottom. The steady meter of a body learning to trust the night. You follow the path as it curves to the right. Here the plantings grow taller, shrubs with broad leaves that catch the gentle light, small trees with spreading canopies. And then, as you round the final bend, you see them, cherry trees. Not the ornamental cherries of springtime, with their clouds of pink and white blossoms. These are different, older, their bark darker. their branches heavy with fruit even in the deep of evening. But these are not ordinary cherries. Even in the dim light, you can see that the fruit glows with its own subtle radiance. Deep red, almost purple. They hang like small lanterns among the dark leaves, each one perfect, each one waiting. You stop before the first tree. Its trunk is broad and solid, rooted deep in earth that seems to pulse with life. The bark has grown smooth in places, where other hands have rested. Other seekers have stood here before you, drawn by the same whisper, the same gentle pull toward rest. The fruit hangs just within reach. You could pluck one easily, but something tells you to wait, to listen, to let this place reveal its secrets in its own time. The whisper grows softer here, but clearer. It no longer pulls you forward. Instead, it settles around you like a blanket. Welcome, it seems to say. You have found the first ingredient, the first piece of the gentle puzzle that is the Sleepy Girl Mocktail. You lean against the tree trunk. The bark is warm against your back, as if the day's sunshine still lives within the wood. Above you, the cherries sway. In the barely there breeze, their subtle light dances among the leaves. Each one holds promise. Each one waits to share its gift. These are tart cherries, you realize. Not the sweet cherries of summer pies, but their more complex cousins. The ones that hold within their flesh a different kind of magic. The kind that whispers to tired bodies about the possibility of deeper rest. You have heard of this before, in the fragments of conversation about that mysterious drink, tart cherry juice. Something about natural compounds, that support the body's own rhythms. Melatonin, perhaps, or other substances with names you cannot quite remember. But here, in this garden, where the ordinary rules seem gently suspended, you sense that the true magic is simpler and more complex than any single compound. These cherries have grown in soil that knows the secrets of rest. They have absorbed moonlight and morning dew. They carry within, pit themselves the wisdom of seasons turning, of darkness giving way to light, of the eternal dance between waking and sleeping. You reach up slowly. Your fingers brush against one cherry. It is perfect in your palm, not too soft, not too firm. The skin gives slightly under gentle pressure. It is warm, as if it has been touched by invisible sunlight. You bring it to your lips. The first taste is bright. Tart, yes, but not unpleasantly so. There is sweetness underneath. Like a secret, the fruit reveals slowly. The flavor blooms across your tongue, complex, layered, alive with the essence of growing things. As you swallow, you feel something settle in your chest. Not drowsiness, exactly. More like the feeling of a door gently closing on the days. Concerns. Your breath deepens. Your thoughts slow their restless circling. You understand now why this fruit belongs in the mocktail of sleep. Not because it forces rest, but because it invites it, like a gentle hand on your forehead, like a soft voice humming a wordless lullaby. You eat another cherry, and another. Each one tastes slightly different, some more tart, others more sweet, but all carry that same gift of gentle settling, that same whisper of peace. The tree seems to approve of your presence. Its branches rustle with something like contentment. The cherries glow a little brighter, as if responding to your appreciation. This is not taking, you realize. This is exchange. You receive the fruit's gift of calm, and in return, you offer your gratitude, your quiet presence, your willingness to listen to what the garden has to teach. Time moves differently here. You cannot tell how long you have stood among the cherry trees. Minutes, hours. It does not matter. The gentle light neither brightens nor dims. The fruit continues to glow with patient radiance. Everything waits with the endless patience of growing things. You eat one final cherry. This one tastes like the essence of quiet evenings, like the moment when work ends and rest begins, like the soft space between day and night, where all possibilities live in gentle suspension. The whisper stirs around you again, not urgent, but present. There is more to learn, more to discover. The Sleepy Girl Mocktail holds other ingredients, other secrets. The cherries are just the beginning. You step back from the tree. Your hand rests on the smooth bark for a moment longer. Thank you, you whisper, though you are not sure if you speak aloud or only in your heart. The tree's leaves rustle in response, a gentle benediction. A soft farewell, but not goodbye. You sense that you will return to this place, that these trees will be here, patient and glowing, whenever you need their quiet gift. They are not bound by ordinary time or ordinary space. They exist in the realm of rest, of dreams, of the gentle space between waking and sleeping. You turn from the cherry trees and follow the path deeper into the garden. Your footsteps are even softer now, cushioned by the fruit's gift of calm. Your breathing has found a rhythm that matches the subtle pulse of the earth beneath your feet. The whisper leads you forward, toward whatever waits in the deeper parts of this place. Toward the next piece of the puzzle, the next ingredient in the mocktail that promises rest. Behind you, the cherry trees continue their quiet glowing. Their fruit sways in the barely there breeze. They hold vigil over this garden of gentle sleep, offering their gift to any who come seeking peace. You walk on, carrying their calm within you. The night holds you like a soft embrace. The path unfolds before your feet with the certainty of dreams. And somewhere ahead, the next piece of the mystery waits to be discovered. The whisper grows stronger. The garden deepens. And you move forward into whatever gentle revelation comes next. You walk deeper into the garden. The path beneath your feet has changed. Still soft earth, but now scattered with something that catches the gentle light. Small fragments that glimmer like fallen stars. You bend to look closer and see tiny crystals embedded in the walkway. They pulse with their own faint luminescence, creating a trail of light that leads you further into this place of quiet wonders. The cherry trees have become a grove now. Their branches interweave overhead, creating a canopy of leaves and glowing fruit. The air beneath them tastes of summer evenings and gentle rains. Each breath brings the subtle sweetness of cherries ripening in moonlight, the deeper scent of earth that has known many seasons of growth. You pause beside a particularly large tree. Its trunk is massive, ancient, marked with the kind of deep ridges that speak of decades spent growing slowly toward the light. The cherries here hang in heavy clusters. Some are the deep red purple you have already tasted. Others glow with different hues: burgundy dark as wine, crimson bright as garnets, some so dark they are almost black. You reach for one of the darker cherries. It comes away from its stem with a soft whisper. In your palm, it seems to hold the essence of deep night, not the empty darkness of absence, but the rich darkness of rest, of dreams, of the fertile void from which all growth springs. You bite into it slowly. The flesh is firmer than the others, the taste more complex. There is tartness, yes, but also depth. Notes of earth and rain and something mineral, like the taste of spring water from deep underground. This cherry carries the wisdom of soil and stone, of roots reaching down into the hidden places where the earth holds its deepest secrets. As the flavor blooms across your tongue, you feel something shift in your body, a deeper settling, not just in your thoughts, but in your muscles, your bones, the very cells that carry you through your days. This fruit does more than whisper to tired minds. It speaks to tired bodies. It offers the kind of rest that reaches into the spaces where tension hides. You eat another of the dark cherries, then another. Each one tastes like the essence of profound peace, like the moment when a long day finally releases its hold on your shoulders, like the breath you take when you finally lie down in a bed that welcomes you completely. The tree seems to sense your appreciation. Its branches rustle with something like contentment. More cherries come within easy reach, as if the tree is offering its gifts more freely. You accept them with gratitude, each one a small communion with this place of gentle rest. As you eat, you become aware of other sounds in the grove, the soft drip of moisture falling from leaf to leaf, the almost inaudible whisper of fruit growing on branches, the deep, slow breathing of trees that have learned to measure time in seasons rather than moments. And underneath it all, something else, a rhythm that seems to come from the earth itself. Not quite a sound, more like a pulse you feel through the soles of your feet. The heartbeat of this place, the steady meter that keeps time for all the growing things that call this garden home. You close your eyes and let yourself feel it. Badam, badam, badam. Slower than your own pulse, deeper than your own breathing. It reminds you of something you had almost forgotten. The way your own body used to move before clocks and schedules taught it to race against time. The natural rhythm that lives in every creature that has ever learned to rest. When you open your eyes, you notice something new. The light in the grove has shifted. It is still gentle, still warm, but now it seems to be raining, not water. Something finer, softer, tiny droplets of light that fall from the cherry trees like luminous dew. You hold out your hand and feel the light train against your palm. Each droplet tingles slightly, warm and cool at the same time. Where they touch your skin, you feel a subtle loosening, not sleepiness, but the kind of release that comes when tight muscles finally remember how to relax. The light train falls more heavily now. It catches in your hair, on your clothes, on the upturned petals of night-blooming flowers that grow at the base of the trees. Everything in the grove begins to glow more brightly. The cherries pulse with inner radiance. The leaves shimmer with collected light drops. Even the earth beneath your feet takes on a subtle luminescence. You stand in the center of this gentle storm and let it wash over you. The light train carries scents, cherry blossoms from some distant spring, the green smell of new leaves, the deeper fragrance of earth after rain, but also something else, something that reminds you of childhood bedrooms and bedtime stories, and the particular safety of being small and protected and deeply loved. A memory surfaces. You are young again, lying in a bed with sheets that smell like sunshine and soap. Outside your window, a cherry tree blooms in the darkness. Its blossoms catch the light from your nightlight, glowing like small spirits in the branches. Someone who loves you has just finished reading you a story. Their voice still echoes in the room, weaving dreams from words. The memory is so vivid you can almost taste it. The particular sweetness of being completely cared for. The absolute trust that comes with knowing you are safe. That sleep is a friend. That morning will bring new adventures. But right now, this moment, you need only rest. The light train seems to respond to the memory. It falls more gently now, like the touch of caring hands. Each droplet carries that same sense of being watched over, being held in the embrace of something larger and more loving than yourself. You understand now why this place exists. It is not just about the cherries, though they are important. It is about remembering what your body already knows, but has perhaps forgotten, that rest is not weakness, but wisdom. That sleep is not time stolen from living, but time given to healing. That the night is not empty darkness, but rich possibility. You walk deeper into the grove. The trees grow larger here, older. Some have trunks so wide you could not wrap your arms around them. Their roots rise above the ground in great curved arches, creating small caves and hollows where other plants grow in the protected darkness. In one of these hollows, you discover something unexpected. A small spring bubbles up from between the roots, creating a pool no larger than a bathtub. The water glows with the same gentle radiance as the cherries above. It flows over smooth stones, creating the sound you heard earlier, the soft music of water finding its own path. You kneel beside the pool. The water is perfectly clear. You can see every stone on the bottom, every grain of sand, every small crystal that lines the spring's source. The surface reflects the glowing cherries above, creating the illusion that fruit hangs both in the branches and in the depths of the earth. You cup some water in your hands. It tastes like the essence of all the cherries you have eaten, but diluted, gentled, made into something you could drink in larger quantities. It carries the same gift of settling, the same invitation to rest, but in a form that flows through your body like liquid peace. You drink again. The water seems to know exactly what your body needs. Where there is tension, it offers release. Where there is worry, it whispers calm. Where there is the harsh brightness of too much thinking, It provides the soft darkness of letting go. As you drink, you realize this is another piece of the puzzle. The Sleepy Girl Mocktail is not just about cherry juice, but about water. About the simple act of hydration becoming an invitation to rest. About taking something pure and natural into your body and letting it work its gentle magic from the inside out. Be set beside the spring for what might be minutes or might be hours. Time continues to move in the slow rhythm of this place. The light train falls steadily, adding to the water in the pool, keeping everything in perfect balance. The cherries glow above you like benevolent stars. The trees breathe their deep, slow breaths. Gradually, you become aware that you are no longer alone in the grove, but other figures move between the trees, shadowy, indistinct, but peaceful. They seem to be doing what you are doing, wandering, tasting, drinking, learning. Some sit beneath trees like you do. Others walk slowly along paths you have not yet explored. You feel no alarm at their presence. They belong here as much as you do. They are fellow seekers, fellow wanderers in the garden of gentle sleep. They nod to you when your paths cross, sharing the quiet understanding of those who have found something precious and do not need words to acknowledge it. One figure approaches more closely. An elderly woman with silver hair that seems to be made of captured moonlight. She moves with the easy grace of someone who has long ago learned to trust her body's wisdom. In her hands, she carries a bowl made from what looks like crystallized light. She settles beside you at the spring. Without words, she dips her bowl into the glowing water and offers it to you. You accept it gratefully. The bowl is warm in your hands, and the water within tastes even more perfectly suited to your needs than what you cupped in your palms. The cherries teach the first lesson, she says, her voice like the sound of leaves rustling in a gentle breeze. That rest comes not from forcing, but from inviting. That the body knows how to sleep. It only needs permission. You nod, understanding flowing through you like the water you have drunk. The cherries do not make you drowsy through some harsh chemical action. They simply remind your body of what it already knows how to do. They provide the raw materials for the natural processes that have been regulating sleep since the beginning of time. But there is more to learn, the woman continues. The cherries are sweet medicine, but they are not complete. There are other gifts in this garden, other teachers waiting to share their wisdom. She gestures toward the deeper parts of the grove, where the trees grow so thickly that the paths between them are barely visible. The crystals call to you now. They have their own gift to offer, their own lesson to teach about the kind of rest that heals, not just fatigue, but the deeper tiredness that lives in bones and muscles, and the quiet places where stress likes to hide. You look where she points and see them, small glimmers of light among the tree roots. Not the organic glow of the cherries, but something more structured, more geometric. Crystals of some kind, growing in the rich earth like flowers made of captured starlight. The woman stands, her movements fluid as water. Go, she says softly. Learn what they have to teach. The night is patient. The garden waits. And your body is remembering what it means begins to truly rest. She walks away between the trees, her form growing fainter, until she becomes just another shadow among shadows. But her words remain, hanging in the air like the scent of cherry blossoms. You rise from beside the spring. Your body moves differently now, more slowly, but also more smoothly. The tension that usually lives in your shoulders has melted away. Your jaw no longer clenches. Your hands hang loose at your sides, relaxed and open. You follow the path deeper into the grove. The cherry trees begin to thin here, making room for other growing things. Ferns unfurl their fronds in the gentle light. Moss carpets the ground in soft green abundance. Night blooming flowers open their petals to catch the falling light train, and they're growing among the roots of the largest trees. You see them clearly now. Crystals, hundreds of them, thousands perhaps. They rise from the earth like a mineral garden, each one catching and holding the light in its own unique way. Some are clear as water, some white as snow, others touched with colors you cannot quite name. The pale green of new leaves, the soft blue of dawn sky, the subtle pink of cherry blossoms. They vary in size from tiny points, no larger than dewdrops, to formations as tall as your hand. But all of them share the same quality of captured light. They do not generate their own illumination like the cherries. Instead, they gather the gentle radiance of the grove and reflect it back transformed, purified, concentrated into something that seems to vibrate with its own inner harmony. You approach the nearest cluster slowly. These crystals feel different from the organic magic of the cherry trees, where the fruit offered the soft wisdom of growing things. These formations pulse with something more elemental, more fundamental. They seem to speak directly to the deepest structures of your body, not to your thoughts or even your emotions, but to the mineral foundation upon which all life builds itself. The whisper that brought you to this garden grows stronger here, but it has changed. Now it speaks not of drinks or ingredients or even rest. Now it whispers of the space between spaces, the pause between heartbeats, the moment of perfect stillness that exists at the center of every breath. You reach toward the nearest crystal, and as your fingers come close to its surface, you feel something extraordinary. The constant low-level tension. For you carry in your muscles. Tension so familiar you had almost forgotten it was there, begins to dissolve. Not all at once, but gradually, like ice melting in warm water. This is the next lesson, the next ingredient, and you sense that it will teach you something the cherries could not, something about the kind of rest that reaches into the very architecture of your body and reminds it how to truly, completely let go. The crystals pulse brighter as you draw near. They are ready to share their secret, ready to add their gift to the growing understanding of what the Sleepy Girl Mocktail truly offers. Not just a drink, but a doorway. Not just ingredients, but invitations to remember what your body has always known about the healing power of genuine rest. Pour. You take a breath and step forward into their glowing embrace. You step into the crystal garden and immediately feel the change in the air. It is thicker here, more alive, charged with something that makes your skin tingle and your breath come more easily. The crystals rise around you like a forest made of captured moonlight, each formation pulsing with its own gentle rhythm. The largest crystals are directly ahead, growing from the earth in perfect geometric formations. Some form delicate towers, others spread in branching patterns like frozen lightning. As you move closer, you see that each crystal is not simple clear stone, but something more complex. They contain veins of different colors, layers of translucent material that catch and bend the light in fascinating ways. The whisper that has guided you through the garden grows quiet here, replaced by something else, a humming, so low and subtle you feel it more than hear it. It seems to come from the crystals themselves, a harmonic frequency that resonates in your bones. You approach the nearest formation, a cluster of crystals that reach to about waist height. They are clearer than glass, but shot through with veins of pale green that seem to flow like slow water. As you draw nearer, the humming grows stronger, and you feel an unexpected sensation in your muscles. They are relaxing. Not the gradual easing that came from the cherries, but something more direct, more structural. It starts in your calves and works its way up. The chronic tightness in your lower back begins to unwind. Your shoulders drop another inch. Even your jaw, which you had thought was already relaxed, releases tension you did not know it was holding. You place your palm against the surface of the nearest crystal. It is warm, like stone that has been sitting in sunshine all day, but the warmth seems to flow from within rather than from any external source. The moment your skin makes contact, the sensation intensifies. Your entire muscular system seems to sigh with relief. The crystal pulses gently under your touch, and suddenly you understand how you are experiencing. These are not ordinary crystals. They are formations of pure magnesium, or something so close to magnesium that your body recognizes them instantly, and your muscles, which have been starved for this essential mineral by modern life and processed food and the constant stress of daily existence, are drinking in its presence like parched earth drinks. Rain. You remember fragments of conversations about the Sleepy Girl Mocktail, how it contained not just cherry juice, but magnesium powder, how people spoke of better sleep, yes, but also of reduced muscle cramps, less restless leg syndrome, a deeper physical ease that went beyond mere mental calm. Here, in this crystal garden, you are experiencing the pure essence of what that magnesium supplement represented. Your body is remembering what it feels like to have its mineral needs truly met, to function with the building blocks it was designed to use. You move from crystal to crystal, placing your hands on different formations. Each one offers a slightly different gift. Some seem to speak to the large muscle groups, your back, your legs, your shoulders. Others whisper to smaller, more delicate systems. The muscles around your eyes release their habitual squint. The tiny muscles in your hands unfold from fists you did not realize you were making. One crystal formation draws your attention particularly strongly. It is taller than the others, reaching nearly to your shoulder, and its surface is not smooth but textured with natural ridges and hollows. It glows with a warmer light, less blue-white, more golden. As you approach it, you feel a pull that seems to come from deep in your chest. When you place both hands on this crystal, the sensation is different, more complete. It is as if every cell in your body is suddenly receiving something it has been missing. Not just your muscles, but your nerves, your heart, the delicate electrical systems that keep your body functioning in harmony. You lean against the crystal and close your eyes. The humming is louder, here, but still gentle, still soothing. It synchronizes with your heartbeat, then gradually begins to slow it down. Your pulse, which you had not realized was slightly elevated, settles into a deeper, more restful rhythm. This is what true relaxation feels like. You realize not the temporary calm that comes from distraction or entertainment, but the profound ease that happens when your body has everything it needs to function as it was designed to. When the constant low-level stress of mineral deficiency finally lifts and allows your systems to find their natural balance. As you rest against the crystal, memories surface, times when you have felt this kind of peace before, floating in warm, salt water, lying on a beach where mineral-rich waves washed over you, soaking in hot springs where the earth's own pharmacy dissolved into healing baths. All moments when your body encountered the minerals it needed in their most natural, most bioavailable form. The crystal seems to sense your memories and responds by pulsing more warmly. The golden light spreads through its structure, illuminating veins and patterns you had not noticed before. Within the crystal, you can see what looks like a tiny landscape. Miniature mountains, valleys, caves, where smaller crystals grow like underground gardens. You open your eyes and look more closely at this inner world. It is not just random mineral formations. There is an order to it, a structure that reminds you of something. The branching patterns look like river systems seen from high above, like the veins in leaves, like the neural networks in your own body. The crystal is showing you something important. The same patterns that govern the growth of minerals in the earth also govern the flow of energy in living systems. The magnesium that forms these beautiful structures is the same magnesium that facilitates countless processes in your cells. The harmony you see crystallized in stone is the harmony your body seeks in sleep, in rest, in the deep repair that happens when all systems are working in balance. You step back from the large crystal and survey the entire garden. There are hundreds of formations here, maybe thousands, each one slightly different, each one offering its own variation on the theme of mineral harmony. You could spend hours exploring them, learning the subtle differences in their gifts. But as you stand among them, you become aware of other visitors to this part of the garden. Like in the cherry grove, shadowy figures move between the crystals. But these figures are different. They move more slowly, more deliberately. Some sit directly against the largest formations, looking like they have been there for hours. Others lie on the soft earth between crystal clusters, completely still, so relaxed they seem to be melting into the ground. One figure catches your attention. A middle-aged man who sits cross-legged before a particularly beautiful crystal formation. His posture is perfectly upright, but there is no tension in it. He breathes so slowly, so deeply, that you can see his entire torso expand and contract with each breath. His face is peaceful in a way that suggests not just momentary calm, but deep structural ease. As you watch him, you realize he is demonstrating something important. This is what magnesium can offer. Not just muscle relaxation, but a fundamental shift in how your body holds itself in the world. Instead of the constant, subtle bracing against stress and tension, there can be a quality of supported uprightness. Strength without strain. Alertness without anxiety. You find your own crystal formation and settle beside it, trying to mirror the man's posture. As you sit quietly, letting the mineral presence wash over you, you feel your breathing naturally deepen. The frantic pace of everyday thoughts begins to slow. Your mind, like your muscles, starts to release its habitual gripping. Time passes in the slow rhythm of the crystal garden. The formations continue their gentle pulsing. The warm light flows through their structures like slow rivers of peace. You sit and breathe and feel your body remembering what it is like to be truly, deeply supported. Gradually, you become aware of a new presence in the garden. Not another visitor, but something that feels more integral to this place. A voice that seems to come from the crystals themselves, speaking not in words, but in the language of direct knowing. The voice explains what you are experiencing. How magnesium is crucial for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. How modern diets and depleted soils mean most people live in a state of chronic magnesium deficiency. How this deficiency shows up not just as muscle cramps or restless sleep, but as anxiety, irregular heartbeat, difficulty with stress, management, and the kind of bone-deep tiredness that rest alone cannot cure. But more than the technical information, the voice conveys a deeper truth. Magnesium is not just a supplement or a treatment. It is a bridge between the mineral kingdom and the living world. It is how the Earth's stability and permanence translate into the flexibility and flow of biological systems. When you consume magnesium, whether in the form of the Sleepy Girl Mocktail or by direct contact with these healing crystals, you are not just taking in a nutrient. You are reconnecting with the fundamental harmony that underlies all life. You are remembering that you are not separate from the earth, but made of the same elements, governed by the same principles of balance and flow. The voice fades as gradually as it came, leaving you in the gentle silence of the crystal garden. But its message remains, settling into your body like the magnesium itself. You understand now why this mineral belongs in the mocktail of sleep. Not because it forces drowsiness, but because it creates the conditions in which natural sleep can flourish. It removes the obstacles, physical tension, mineral deficiency, nervous system overstimulation, that prevent your body from following its own wisdom into rest. You stand slowly, feeling how different your body is now compared to when you first entered the garden. Your movements are fluid, unhurried. Your muscles respond without the subtle resistance that usually accompanies motion after sitting still. It is as if the magnesium has oiled all the small mechanisms of your body, allowing everything to work in harmony. You place one final hand on the golden crystal that called to you most strongly. It pulses warmly under your touch, a farewell gift of mineral peace. The sensation travels up your arm and settles into your chest, where it seems to establish itself as a new baseline of calm. As you prepare to leave this part of the garden, you notice something you had not seen before. Small fragments of crystal have worked their way to the surface of the path, creating tiny points of light that mark the way forward. They are not the larger formations that pulse with obvious power, but smaller, more subtle gifts from the earth. You kneel and pick up one of these fragments. It is no larger than a grain of rice, but it holds the same warm glow as the massive crystal formations. You cup it in your palm and feel a gentle tingling, like the whisper of mineral harmony concentrated into something you can carry with you. Without thinking, you place the tiny crystal on your tongue. It dissolves almost immediately, leaving behind a taste that is neither bitter nor sweet, but something else entirely. It tastes like the essence of deep earth, like the mineral heart of mountains, like the stable foundation upon which all growth builds itself. As the crystal dissolves, you feel its gift spreading through your body one final time. Every cell receives a message of support, of being properly nourished, of having access to the building blocks it needs for optimal function. This is what the magnesium powder in the Sleepy Girl Mocktail represents in its pure, concentrated form. Not just a supplement, but a reconnection with the mineral wisdom of the earth. The path ahead glimmers with more crystal fragments. Each step you take brings you in contact with these small gifts. Through the soles of your feet, you feel their gentle presence, their ongoing invitation to remain in harmony with the deeper rhythms of your body. The crystal garden begins to thin as you move forward. The massive formations give way to smaller clusters, then to individual crystals scattered among other growing things. But their influence remains. Your muscles stay relaxed, your breathing stays deep, your nervous system continues to hum with the quiet satisfaction of having its needs met. Poke you round a bend in the path and find yourself approaching a new area of the garden. The crystals here are different, smaller, more delicate, growing not in impressive formations but in subtle veins that run through the earth like mineral streams. They create a network of gentle light that seems to connect everything in this part of the garden. By and growing among these crystal veins, you see new plants. Not the cherry trees with their glowing fruit, but something else entirely. These plants are smaller, more understated. Their leaves are various shades of green, from pale silver green to deep forest green. Some have small flowers that seem to glow with their own soft light. Others have seed heads that catch and hold the crystal radiance. This is where the path is leading you now, to this quieter part of the garden where the lessons are more subtle. more complex. You sense that what you will learn here will complete the picture that began with the cherry's invitation to rest and continued with the crystal's gift of mineral harmony. The whisper returns as you approach these new plants, but it is different. Now, not the strong pull that brought you to the garden, or the gentle guidance that led you through the fruit and mineral teachings. This whisper is softer, more nuanced. It speaks not of ingredients or supplements, but of something deeper, something about the true nature of sleep itself. You walk among the mineral-veined plant beds, feeling the soft radiance from below mixing with the gentle glow of the unusual vegetation above. Your body moves in the slow, easy rhythm it has learned in this place. Your breathing follows the deep pattern established by the crystals. Your thoughts have settled into a calm flow that requires no effort to maintain. But even in this state of deep relaxation, you remain alert, curious. You sense that the most important lesson is still ahead. That the cherries and crystals, powerful as their gifts have been, were preparation for something else. Something that will teach you not just about the components of restful sleep, but about the deeper mystery of why humans need rest at all, and how to create the conditions in which true restoration can occur. The plants around you rustle softly, though there is no breeze. They seem to be preparing for your arrival, opening themselves to share whatever wisdom they hold. The crystal veins pulse more brightly, as if amplifying the subtle energies of the growing things above them. You slow your steps and approach the heart of this new garden area with the same reverence you brought to the cherries and crystals. Here, you sense, you will learn the final pieces of the puzzle. Here, the whisper will reveal not just what goes into the Sleepy Girl Mocktail, but why such a simple combination of natural ingredients can offer such profound rest. The night deepens around you, but in this garden, that only means more peace, more possibility. The darkness here is not empty but full, pregnant with dreams, rich with the potential for deep healing. You are ready for whatever lesson comes next. The plants growing among the crystal veins are unlike anything you have seen before. As you move closer, you realize they are not entirely unfamiliar. There is something about their shapes, their way of growing, that echoes plants you know from the ordinary world. But here, in this garden of gentle sleep, they have been transformed into something more essential, more purely themselves. One plant draws your attention immediately. It grows low to the ground in spreading mounds of silvery green leaves. The leaves are small, oval-shaped, covered in fine hairs that catch the light from the crystal veins below. Even without touching them, you can smell their fragrance, clean, fresh, with an undertone of something that reminds you of cool morning air and the first breath after a long, satisfying sleep. You kneel beside this plant and breathe in its scent more deeply. The fragrance is complex, layered. There is the brightness of citrus, but softer, more subtle. There is something herbal, something that speaks to ancient memories of healing and comfort. And underneath it all, something that seems to communicate directly with the part of your brain that regulates sleep and waking. This is lemon balm, you realize. but not the ordinary lemon balm of herb gardens and tea shops. This is lemon balm as it exists in the realm of pure possibility, concentrated, perfected, holding within its small leaves the essence of everything that makes this humble plant a friend to restless minds and overactive thoughts. You touch one leaf gently. It is soft under your fingertip, velvety with those fine hairs. The moment you make contact, you feel a subtle shift in the quality of your thoughts. They do not stop or slow. Instead, they seem to become more spacious, less urgent. The constant, low-level mental chatter that usually accompanies your waking hours grows quieter, not through force, but through a kind of gentle offering of peace. Please rub the leaf between your fingers, releasing more of its fragrance. The scent rises around you like a green blessing, and with it comes a memory. You are a child again, but older than in the cherry tree memory. You are maybe 8 or 9, lying in bed with a stuffed animal clutched to your chest. You are not sick, but you are unsettled. Some childhood worry has followed you to bed and refuses to let you sleep. Someone who loves you comes into the room carrying a cup of something warm and fragrant. They sit on the edge of your bed and help you sit up to sip it. The drink tastes like honey and herbs, and something indefinably comforting. As you drink it, you feel your worry begin to loosen its grip on your chest. By the time you finish the cup, you are ready to lie down again, ready to trust that sleep will come. The memory fades, but its essence remains. That childhood experience of being cared for, of having someone notice your distress and respond with exactly what you needed. The lemon balm carries that same quality, not just herbal medicine, but the medicine of being tended to, being seen, being offered comfort in exactly the form your nervous system can receive it. You move to another plant, this one growing in more upright stems, with leaves arranged in neat pairs along each stalk. The leaves are broader than the lemon balm, darker green, with serrated edges and a different fragrance, earthy, rooty, with hints of something almost floral. This plant pulses with a different kind of energy. Where the lemon balm offered spaciousness and gentle ease, this one seems to speak more directly to physical tension. As you breathe in its scent, you feel your jaw unclench another degree. Your shoulders drop just a little lower. The muscles around your eyes soften. Passion flower. Some deep part of you recognizes another ancient friend. To those who struggle with sleep, but like the lemon balm, this is passion flower in its most essential form. It grows here not just as a plant, but as a living embodiment of the principle of letting go, of releasing the grip that daytime consciousness maintains on the body and mind. Tell you, sit cross-legged between the lemon balm and the passion flower, breathing in both their fragrances. The combination creates something new, a blend that speaks to different aspects of sleeplessness. The lemon balm continues to offer its gift of mental spaciousness, while the passion flower whispers to the tense places in your body, inviting them to soften, to yield, to trust in the process of letting go. As you sit in this living pharmacy, more plants reveal themselves to your attention. A low, creeping plant with tiny leaves, chamomile, but not the pale, simple chamomile of tea bags. This is chamomile that has absorbed moonlight and crystal energy, that grows in soil enriched by the dreams of all who have rested in this garden before you. Another plant, this one tall and elegant, with spikes of purple flowers that seem to hold captured twilight in their petals. Lavender, of course, but lavender that has learned to sing lullabies in a frequency only sleeping minds can hear. As the evening air stirs its flowers, they release a fragrance so perfect, so precisely calibrated to induce rest, that you feel yourself beginning to sway slightly, rocked by the plant's gentle hypnotic presence. You realize you are surrounded by the herbal allies of sleep, not in their crude everyday forms, but in their archetypal perfection. Each plant here represents one aspect of what the human nervous system needs to make the transition from waking to sleeping. Together, they create a symphony of sense and subtle energies that address every obstacle to rest. But as you sit among them, breathing in their collective wisdom, you begin to understand something more complex. These plants are not just ingredients in some cosmic recipe for sleep. They are teachers, each one offering a different lesson about the nature of rest itself. The lemon balm teaches that sleep begins in the mind, with the willingness to let thoughts become less urgent, less demanding of immediate attention. It offers the gift of mental spaciousness, of trusting that problems do not need to be solved in this moment, that worries can be set aside until tomorrow brings fresh perspective. The passion flower teaches about physical surrender, about allowing the body to release its habitual holding patterns, its chronic readiness for action. It whispers that strength is not about constant tension, but about the ability to tighten and relax as needed. It offers permission to let the body become heavy, supported by the earth, held by gravity in ways that feel nurturing rather than oppressive. The chamomile teaches about the sweetness of vulnerability, about the courage it takes to close your eyes and trust that you will be safe in sleep. It carries the energy of being cradled, of being small and protected and completely allowed to rest without having to prove your worthiness for care. The lavender teaches about the beauty of letting go, about the way surrendering control can be not a defeat but a dance, not a collapse but a graceful yielding to rhythms larger than your individual will. It offers the understanding that sleep is not empty unconsciousness, but a journey into realms where healing happens beyond the reach of ordinary awareness. As these lessons sink into your body like the plant's fragrances, you hear footsteps on the path behind you. You turn to see the silver-haired woman from the cherry grove approaching, but she looks different here among the herbs, more solid, more present. The moonlight in her hair seems to come from within, rather than being reflected from external sources. She settles beside you among the plants with the fluid grace of someone who has long ago learned to move in harmony with the natural world. The herbs seem to recognize her presence. Their fragrances grow stronger, their glowing intensifies, as if they are eager to share their teachings with someone who truly understands their value. "You are learning about ingredients," she says, her voice carrying the same gentle authority as before. cherries and magnesium and healing herbs. But do you understand what these ingredients really are? You consider her question, breathing in the complex symphony of scents around you. They're teachers. You offer, each one showing a different aspect of how to rest. She nods approvingly. Yes, but more than that. They are invitations, reminders of what your body already knows how to do. The Sleepy Girl Mocktail is not magic because of any single ingredient. It is magic because it speaks a language your cells remember from before you learned to override your natural rhythms with artificial light and caffeine and the constant stimulation of modern life. She reaches out and gently touches a sprig of lemon balm. The plant seems to pulse brighter under her fingers. Your ancestors knew these plants. They used them not as medicines in the way we think of medicine now, but as allies, as gentle friends who could help the human system remember its own capacity for rest. But, she continues, and her voice takes on a more serious tone, the plants alone are not enough. The cherries and magnesium and herbs, they can create favorable conditions for sleep. They can remove some of the obstacles, but true rest, the kind that heals not just fatigue, but the deeper tiredness that accumulates in lives lived out of harmony with natural rhythms, that requires something more. She stands and gestures for you to follow her deeper into the herb garden. Come, there is one more lesson, the most important one, the lesson about what makes rest truly restorative. You rise and follow her along a path that winds between increasingly tall and lush plantings. The herbs here seem older, more established. Some have grown into small shrubs, others into vine-covered arbors that create pools of green-scented shadow. The crystal veins in the earth pulse more brightly here, creating an intricate network of light that connects all the growing things in a web of gentle illumination. As you walk, the woman continues to speak. People think that the Sleepy Girl Mocktail works because of chemistry, because tart cherries contain melatonin precursors and magnesium relaxes muscles and herbs calm the nervous system. And these things are true, as far as they go. But they are only the surface of a deeper truth. You pass under an arbor heavy with night-blooming jasmine, its flowers opening in the darkness to release a fragrance so intoxicating it makes you feel slightly drunk on sweetness. What deeper truth, you ask, though part of you already senses the answer. That rest is not something you do, she replies. It is something you allow. It is not an action, but a surrender. And surrender requires not just the right biochemical conditions, but the right relationship with time, with darkness, with the natural world, and most importantly, with yourself. She stops beside a circular clearing where the herbs grow in, perfect spirals around a central area of soft grass. The crystal veins here form concentric circles, creating a natural mandala of light. In the center of this mandala, a single plant grows small, unassuming, with leaves that seem to absorb light rather than reflect it. This is the final teacher, she says, gesturing toward the dark-leaved plant. It has no common name, because it exists only in places like this, where the ordinary rules of botany are gently suspended. But its lesson is the most important of all. You approach the plant slowly. It is smaller than all the others, its leaves so dark they are almost black. But as you draw nearer, you realize they are not absorbing light. They are transforming it. The crystal radiance that enters the leaves emerges changed, softer, more like the deep blue-black of a perfectly peaceful night sky. This plant teaches the lesson of emptiness, the woman explains. Not the emptiness of lack, but the emptiness of perfect fullness. The space that exists when you stop trying to control sleep and instead create the conditions where sleep can find you. You kneel beside the plant and breathe in its almost invisible fragrance. It smells like nothing and everything, like the scent of deep space between stars, like the smell of your own breath when you are so relaxed you have forgotten you are breathing. As the natscent fills your awareness, you understand what she means. All the other plants, the cherries, the magnesium, the lemon balm and passion flower and chamomile and lavender, they are wonderful allies. They can help create the conditions for rest. But ultimately, sleep comes not from adding something to your experience, but from creating space for your body's own wisdom to emerge. The true magic of the Sleepy Girl Mocktail, the woman says softly, is not in its ingredients, but in the ritual of making it. The few minutes each evening when you slow down enough to prepare something nourishing for yourself. The pause between day and night, when you acknowledge that your body has needs, and you choose to meet those needs with gentleness rather than force. You sit back on your heels, letting her words sink in. The garden around you continues its gentle pulsing, but now you see it differently. This is not just a place where magical ingredients grow. It is a living metaphor for what happens when you create the right conditions for rest, when you honor your body's need for minerals and plant allies and the deep peace that comes from feeling truly nourished. But how do I take this back with me, you ask? How do I remember this lesson when I'm back in the ordinary world with its artificial light and constant demand? The woman smiles, and in her smile you see the answer. You create your own version of this garden, not with magical plants and crystal formations, but with the simple practice of treating sleep as sacred, of preparing for rest with the same intention you would bring to any other important ritual in your life. She reaches into the folds of her robe and withdraws something that makes you gasp with recognition. It is a small glass bottle filled with liquid that seems to contain all the colors you have encountered in this garden. The deep red purple of the cherries, the clear light of the magnesium crystals, the green essence of the healing herbs. This is not the Sleepy Girl Mocktail as it exists in the ordinary world, she explains, offering you the bottle. This is its essence, the distillation of everything this garden has taught you, but you will not drink it here. You will carry it with you back to your own bed, your own pillow, your own trusted place of rest. And when you drink it there, it will help you remember what you have learned. You accept the bottle with both hands. It is warm against your palms, and the liquid inside seems to move with its own gentle current. Looking at it, You can almost taste the perfect balance it contains. Tart and sweet, mineral and herbal, complex and simple all at once. Remember, the woman says as she begins to fade back into the garden. Shadows, the ingredients matter, but the intention matters more. The cherry juice and magnesium powder and herbal teas you can make in your own kitchen will work their gentle magic, but only if you approach them with the understanding you have gained here. Only if you remember that rest is not something you force, but something you invite, something you allow, something you receive as a gift from your own wise body. When you finally trust it enough to let go, you clutch the bottle to your chest and feel its warmth spreading through your ribs. The garden around you continues to glow with its gentle light, but you sense that your time here is drawing to a close. The lessons have been learned, the gifts have been received. Now it is time to begin the journey back to the world of ordinary sleep, carrying with you everything this place has taught about the true nature of rest. Path back through the garden calls to you, marked by the same crystal fragments that led you deeper into its mysteries. But now those fragments seem to pulse with new meaning. They are not just markers of direction, but reminders of what you have learned. Each tiny point of light carries within it the essence of the entire experience, the invitation to rest that began with the whisper, the gift of natural rhythm offered by the cherries, the deep mineral nourishment of the magnesium crystals, and the gentle plant wisdom of the herbs. Most importantly, they carry the final lesson of the dark-leaved plant and the silver-haired woman. That true rest comes not from any external source, but from the willingness to create space for your body's own healing wisdom to emerge. That the most powerful ingredient in any sleep remedy is the intention behind it. The decision to treat rest as sacred, to approach bedtime as a holy ritual, to honor the profound mystery of consciousness, voluntarily surrendering itself to the healing embrace of sleep. You begin to walk back through the garden, the precious bottle held safely in your hands, carrying with you not just its liquid gift, but the deeper gift of understanding. The night is still deep around you, but it no longer feels like empty darkness. It feels like possibility, like the rich, fertile void from which all dreams are born. The path back through the garden unfolds before you with the same gentle certainty that brought you here. But now everything looks different, not changed exactly. The cherry trees still glow with their inner light. The crystals still pulse with mineral harmony. The herbs still whisper their fragrant promises of peace. But your perception has deepened, you see. Not just the individual gifts each area offers, but the way they work together to create something larger than the sum of their parts. The bottle in your hands pulses gently with each step you take. Its warmth has spread through your entire body now, creating a sensation of being held from within. Not drowsiness, but the kind of deep relaxation that comes when every cell receives exactly what it needs to function in perfect harmony. As you pass back through the herb garden, you pause to breathe in one final time the complex symphony of fragrances. But now, instead of experiencing each scent separately, you perceive them as a unified whole. The lemon bomb's invitation to mental spaciousness blends seamlessly with the passion flower's gift of physical release. The chamomile's promise of sweet vulnerability harmonizes with the lavender's teaching about graceful surrender. This is what the silver-haired woman meant, you realize. The individual ingredients of the Sleepy Girl Mocktail are important, but their true power lies not in their separate properties, but in their synergy. Like musicians in an orchestra, each one contributes its unique voice to create something more beautiful than any could achieve alone. You continue walking, and as you pass the crystal formations, their humming seems to attune itself to the rhythm of your footsteps. The magnesium's gift of mineral harmony resonates in your bones, but now you understand it differently. It is not just about supplementing a nutrient deficiency. It is about remembering your connection to the earth itself, to the stable foundation of mineral wisdom upon which all life builds itself. The crystal fragments in the path seem to respond to your deeper understanding. They pulse more brightly as you walk, creating tiny pools of light that illuminate not just your way forward, but something more subtle. You begin to see the patterns that connect everything in this garden. Threads of light that run between the cherry trees and the crystal formations and the herb spirals. A network of gentle energy that weaves all the healing influences together into one coherent whole. This is the true magic, you understand. Not any single ingredient, but the way they support each other. The way the cherry's invitation to rest creates space for the magnesium's deeper healing. The way the mineral's stabilizing influence allows the herbs to work more effectively. The way all build them together, create conditions where your body's own wisdom can finally emerge. When you reach the cherry grove, you pause beneath your favorite tree. The one where you first tasted the deep, complex fruit that taught you about inviting rather than forcing rest. The cherries still hang heavy on the branches, still glow with their gentle radiance. But now you see them not just as sources of natural melatonin precursors, but as symbols of something more profound. Each cherry contains within its small sphere the essence of perfect timing. They ripen when they are ready, not before and not after. They fall when their moment comes, returning their nutrients to the soil that will feed next year's growth. They embody the natural rhythms that your modern life has largely forgotten. The importance of cycles, of dark and light, of rest and activity flowing in harmonious alternation. You reach up and pluck one final cherry. As you eat it slowly, savoring its tart-sweet complexity, you feel its gift settling not just into your body, but into your understanding. This is what you must remember when you return to the ordinary world. That sleep, like the ripening of fruit, cannot be rushed or forced. It comes when conditions are right, when your body has what it needs, when your mind has permission to let go, when your spirit trusts enough to surrender to the mystery of unconsciousness. The path leads you away from the cherry grove and toward the garden's entrance. But as you walk, you notice something new. The boundaries between different areas are not as distinct as they seemed before. Cherry trees grow among crystal formations. Herbs wind their way between the roots of fruit-bearing trees. Minerals and plants and glowing fruits exist in intimate relationship, each one supporting and being supported by the others. This too is a lesson to carry with you in your ordinary life. The components of good sleep hygiene might seem separate. Exercise and nutrition and stress management and bedroom environment and sleep schedule. But they are all connected, all part of one integrated approach to creating conditions where rest can flourish. As you near the garden gate, you encounter the silver-haired woman one final time. She stands beside the wooden gate, no longer fading in and out of visibility, but present in the solid, grounded way of someone who belongs completely to this place. In her hands, she holds a small cloth bag that glows with soft light. "Before you go," she says, her voice warm with the satisfaction of a teacher whose student has truly understood the lessons, "there is one more gift." She opens the bag and pours into your free hand a small amount of what looks like ordinary soil. But as it touches your palm, you realize it is far from ordinary. This earth contains fragments of crystal, dried pieces of herb, the essence of cherry trees that have grown here for countless seasons. It pulses with life, with the concentrated wisdom of this entire garden. "Plant this in a small pot beside your bed," she instructs. "Nothing will grow from it in the way you might expect, but it will remember this place. It will hold the energy of what you have learned here. On nights when sleep seems far away, when the stresses of ordinary life make rest feel impossible, place your hand on the soil and remember what this garden has taught you." You pour the precious earth into your pocket, where it settles against your hip like a warm reminder of everything you have experienced. "Will I be able to find this place again?" you ask. The woman smiles. This garden exists wherever someone approaches sleep with reverence rather than desperation, wherever someone creates a ritual of rest rather than simply collapsing into bed, wherever someone remembers that the body is wise and that healing happens most profoundly when we stop trying to control it and instead create conditions where it can do what it knows how to do. She opens the gate for you. Beyond it, you can see the path that will lead you back to your own home, your own bed, your own opportunity to practice what you have learned. The night air outside the garden feels different, not as saturated with healing energy, but not empty either. It carries the possibility of rest, the promise that what you have learned here can be translated into your ordinary life. "Remember," the woman says as you step through the gate, "the Sleepy Girl Mocktail is not just a drink. It is a daily ritual of self-care. A few minutes each evening when you slow down enough to prepare something nourishing for yourself. A bridge between the demands of day and the healing of night. Its power comes not just from its ingredients, but from the intention you bring to making it." The gate closes behind you with the same soft, musical sigh with which it opened. You turn for one last look at the garden, but it is already fading, becoming translucent, shifting into the realm of memory and dream. Yet its gifts remain solid and real. The bottle of essence in your hands, the magical soil in your pocket, and most importantly, the deep understanding that has settled into your bones. You walk back along the stone path that brought you here, but your relationship with the darkness has fundamentally changed. where before you might have hurried through the night, eager to reach the safety of indoor lighting. Now you move slowly, appreciating the soft embrace of the dark hours. Night is no longer empty time to be endured, but sacred space where healing happens. The stars overhead seem brighter, or perhaps your perception has deepened. Each point of light in the vast darkness reminds you of the crystal formations in the garden, pulsing with their own inner harmony. The night sky is not a void, but a presence, holding you and all sleeping creatures in its gentle embrace. As you approach your home, you see it with new eyes, not just a shelter, pot from the night, but a place where you can create your own version of the healing garden, where you can establish rituals and rhythms that honor your body's need for rest, where you can practice the art of letting go that the garden taught you. You enter quietly, moving through rooms that hold the familiar scents and shadows of your daily life. But you carry with you the fragrances of the garden, cherry blossoms and mineral harmony, lemon balm and lavender, and underneath it all, the deep earth's scent of soil that has absorbed countless seasons of growth and rest. In your kitchen, you pause. Tomorrow, you know, you will make your own version of the Sleepy Girl Mocktail. You will combine tart cherry juice and magnesium powder, and perhaps some chamomile tea. The ingredients will be ordinary ones, purchased from ordinary stores, but you will approach the making of this drink with the reverence the garden taught you. You will remember that you are not just mixing supplements, but creating a bridge between the ancient wisdom of plant and mineral allies and your modern need for rest. The bottle of garden essence pulses gently in your hands, reminding you of its presence. You make your way to your bedroom, where your bed waits with fresh sheets and familiar pillows. The room looks the same as when you left it, but you perceive it differently now. This is not just a place where you collapse at the end of exhausting days. This is a sanctuary, a healing chamber, a space where you can practice the sacred art of surrender. You place the magical soil beside your bed in a small ceramic bowl that seems perfect for holding such a precious gift. Already you can feel its subtle influence, a gentle reminder of mineral stability, of plant wisdom, of the patient cycles that govern all natural healing. You sit on the edge of your bed and hold the bottle of essence up to the soft light from your bedside lamp. The liquid inside swirls with all the colors of the garden, deep cherry red, crystal clear, the green of healing herbs, and something else, something that looks like captured starlight. This is the moment the entire journey has been leading toward. Not the mystical experience of the garden, beautiful as that was, but this return to ordinary reality with extraordinary understanding. This opportunity to integrate what you have learned into the simple, daily practice of going to sleep. You remove the cork from the bottle. The fragrance that emerges contains everything. The tart sweetness of cherries, the clean mineral scent of magnesium, the complex herbal notes of lemon balm and passion flower and chamomile and lavender. But more than that, it carries the essence of the lesson itself. The understanding that rest is not something you do, but something you allow. You drink the essence slowly, savoringly. It tastes like the perfect Sleepy Girl Mocktail, tart and sweet and mineral clean and herbally complex. But it also tastes like permission, like the flavor of letting go, like the liquid embodiment of trust in your body's own healing wisdom. As the essence settles into your system, you feel all the gifts of the garden integrating within you. The cherry's invitation to rest without forcing, the crystal's gift of mineral harmony, the herb's gentle assistance in releasing the day's tensions, and most importantly, the deep understanding that sleep is not unconsciousness, but consciousness in its most healing form. You set the empty bottle on your nightstand, where it continues to glow with a soft, barely perceptible light. You know it will fade by morning, returning to ordinary glass, but its gift will remain integrated into your understanding of what it means to rest deeply. Prepare for bed with new attention to ritual, each action, changing into comfortable clothes, washing your face, brushing your teeth, becomes a conscious step in the transition from day to night. You are not just going through motions, but actively participating in the sacred process of preparing for sleep. When you finally lie down, your body settles into the mattress with a completeness you had forgotten was possible. The magnesium's gift of mineral harmony allows your muscles to release completely. The cherry's wisdom helps your mind let go of the day's concerns. The herbs whisper their lullabies to your nervous system. But more than any specific ingredient, what carries you toward sleep is the understanding you have gained. You know now that rest is not an interruption of your life, but one of its most essential components. You understand that the brief ritual of making a Sleepy Girl Mocktail each evening is not just about consuming helpful nutrients, but about creating a bridge between the demands of conscious life and the healing mysteries of sleep. Your breathing deepens naturally. Your thoughts begin to dissolve into the spacious darkness behind your eyelids. You feel your consciousness preparing to make its nightly journey into the realm of dreams, carrying with it all the healing gifts you have received. As you drift towards sleep, you place one hand on the small bowl of garden soil beside your bed. It pulses gently against your palm, a warm reminder, Kel, of everything you have learned. You understand now that this is not the end of the journey, but the beginning. Each night from now on will be an opportunity to practice the art of sacred rest. Each evening's ritual will be a chance to remember the deeper truth about sleep, that it is not empty time, but healing time. Not unconsciousness, but the deepest form of self-care. The bottle on your nightstand gives one final, gentle pulse of light. The soil beneath your fingers whispers with the voices of cherry trees and crystal formations and healing herbs. And you, lying in your own bed in your own room, carry within you the garden's greatest gift, the knowledge that you already possess everything you need for deep, restorative sleep. You need only remember to approach it with reverence, to create the conditions, to trust the process, to let go. Your breath slows to match the ancient rhythm you felt pulsing through the garden paths. Your heartbeat settles into the deep, steady meter of someone who has finally learned to rest without reservation. The small tensions you carry in your jaw, your shoulders, your hands, all of them release their grip. dissolved by the memory of magnesium harmony and herbal wisdom. The last thing you notice before sleep takes you is the quality of the darkness behind your eyelids. It is not empty or frightening, but full of potential, rich with the promise of dreams, warm with the accumulated healing of all who have ever learned to trust in the restoration that comes with genuine rest. Tomorrow, you know, you will wake refreshed in a way that goes deeper than simply feeling less tired. You will wake with a cellular memory of being perfectly nourished, completely supported, held in the embrace of natural rhythms that are older and wiser than the artificial urgencies of modern life. Tomorrow, you will make your own Sleepy Girl Mocktail with ordinary ingredients and extraordinary intention. You will remember that the true magic lies not in any single component, but in the ritual of care, the practice of creating conditions for your body's own healing wisdom to emerge. But all of that is tomorrow. Tonight, you simply rest. You breathe the deep breaths of someone who has learned to trust sleep as a friend rather than fear it as lost time. You settle into your pillows with the completeness of someone who understands that rest is not lazy but necessary, not empty but profoundly generative. The garden lives on in your breathing, in the mineral harmony of your relaxed muscles, in the herbal peace that flows through your bloodstream. It lives in the small bowl of sacred soil beside your bed, and in the memory of bottles that hold liquid starlight. Most importantly, it lives in your new understanding that sleep is not something that happens to you, but something you participate in, a nightly collaboration between your conscious intention and your body's infinite wisdom. You place the lesson gently in your heart. The cherries rest on their branches. The crystals glimmer in eternal silence. The herbs whisper their lullabies to the night wind. You breathe, you settle, you trust. The night holds you, and you sleep. In this sleep, you dream not of the garden, but of tomorrow's rituals, of evening routines that honor the transition from day to night, of small moments of self-care that accumulate into profound healing, of bedtime becoming not just the end of the day, but the beginning of restoration. You dream of cherry juice mixed with intention, of magnesium powder dissolved in gratitude, of herbal teas steeped in the understanding that your body is wise and worthy of gentle care. You dream of bedrooms that feel like sanctuaries, of pillows that welcome you like old friends, of darkness that embraces rather than threatens. But mostly, you dream of sleep itself, not as unconsciousness to be endured, but as healing consciousness to be embraced. You dream of nights that repair what days have worn, of rest that reaches deeper than fatigue, of the profound peace that comes when someone finally, completely learns to let go. The garden's whisper follows you into dreams, no longer pulling you toward discovery, but supporting you in integration. Tomorrow you will carry its lessons into your waking life. Tonight you simply receive its final gift, the experience of perfect rest, of sleep so deep and healing that you wake not just refreshed, but renewed. In the morning, the bottle will be ordinary glass, the soil will be simple earth, but the understanding will remain settled into your bones like mineral wisdom. flowing through your days like the memory of cherry sweetness, ready to guide you back to rest whenever the evening calls. For now, though, there is only this: the soft rhythm of breath, the gentle pulse of a peaceful heart, the profound stillness of a body that has finally learned to trust in the healing power of sleep. The whisper fades to silence, the garden rests in memory, and you sleep the deep, dreamless sleep of someone who has found their way home to themselves. The Sleepy Girl Mocktail typically contains tart cherry juice, rich in natural melatonin, magnesium powder for muscle relaxation and nervous system support, and sometimes herbal additions like chamomile tea. While the magical garden in this story represents the essence of these ingredients in fantastical form, the real benefits of this simple nighttime ritual lie in both the nutritional support these components provide and the mindful practice of creating an evening routine that signals to your body that it's time to rest. Sweet dreams, and may your own bedtime rituals carry a touch of the garden's gentle magic.